What's your answer to a 5-yo asking how moms get pregnant? We all have things called genes that make us look the way we look. Sometimes adults put their private parts together. When someone puts a penis inside a vagina, sometimes that makes a baby by mixing together the genes of both of the adults. The baby grows in the mommy's tummy until it's ready to come out. It's really important to understand that only adults who want to should be touching each other's private parts. Kids' privates aren't ready for it, and it probably sounds pretty gross or weird right now. That's okay. When you get older and your body changes to be like an adult, your privates will change too, and you might start wanting to do things with your privates. That should always be your decision, and it's something your parents will talk more about when your body starts to change. Until then, just be sure to keep your private parts private and tell your parents if another adult ever tries to touch or see them as your. Just tell the kid. No reason to hide it. Telling your 5-year-old about getting dicked down by their dad sounds a lot less traumatic than telling an 8 or 9-year-old. Nah. Younger they are, more easily they just accept the explanation as mere matter of fact. Older they are, chances are they have already been told stuff elsewhere. How is a little kid who has no idea what sex even might be going to be traumatized? I'm certain it's just the adults who have difficulties with where babies come from, not 5-year-olds. Always tell the truth. Start without details and pay attention to their level of interest. They will let you know when they've learned enough. Keep giving more specifics until they are satisfied. Greater than they will let you know when they've learned enough. And you do that with daddy? Quote, my son's reaction. I think we're done here. This is what my parents did for my siblings, and I give them a basic but truthful explanation with no euphemisms or anything. And if they keep pressing, keep giving more information until they're satisfied. My mom was a nurse and explained everything when I was 6. And showed pictures of warts and shit that you can get. I was mortified. Based on your experience, do you recommend explaining it this way? I mean, it got the job done. I never asked my mom about it again. But at least she didn't lie to me. I wouldn't recommend lying to your kids about anything, because when they find out the truth, they will feel betrayed and will likely not forget about it. My parents lied to me about a lot of things in order to protect me. Every time I learned the truth, I hated it and trusted them less and less. Now even when they say it's raining outside, I have to check to be sure. Never lie to kids. Leaking information is fine, but lying is a sure way to mess things up. I technically was told the truth, but by using the term sleep together, my innocent little mind just assumed they were giving it ZZ side by side. Same lol. Even once I learned about sex, I still thought you could get pregnant by literally sleeping next to each other. Greater than. This is what I told my 3.5-yo when I was expecting her baby brother. Mummies have special eggs in their tummies, and daddies give her a special seed to feed to her egg. The egg liked the seed so much she decided to grow something special. Just like when we plant seeds in the garden. Explain it to them. I feel if they're old enough to ask, they are old enough to know. Big question. Is it your kid? If not, dodge the question. Or say to ask your parents. That's not your place. If it is, then tell them, Monsieur. She was cursed by a witch. Or better yet, she is a witch. A parasitic worm gets into your ear while you're sleeping and lays a bunch of eggs that incubate and then burst out of your stomach once ripe. I'll stick with Mom got fucked in the pussy, thank you. In the 80s there was a cartoon called Where Did I Come From that explained everything from a child's perspective. Is that the very British one with the funny sort of tickle? Yes. Magic. My mom just told me that when parents love each other a lot, the mother gets pregnant. I am a girl and I didn't know what erection, penis and virginity meant till the age of 12. For a country with a population of 1.2 billion, we really ignore the fuck out of sex. Must be Indian, can relate. Age appropriate, factual and open-ended discussion. Planned Parenthood has an excellent educational guide on their website. It offers great advice on childhood sex education. The American Academy of Pediatrics also offers great resource material. Tell the truth but try to spare the details. Lying is the worst option. She ate too much chocolate and now is uncontrollably expanding larger and larger. The truth. Don't confuse them by lying. Go bother someone else. I don't know any 5-year-olds. I told him about everything except the penis in the vagina part. He's 9 and I told him about that a couple of days ago. The only thing he asked was what happens when 2 dogs do it. That's the most important part. Yeah, well, didn't really want to tell my 5-year-old where a willy goes when it's hard. Seems like it goes down a bad road. Now he knows that dogs get stuck together. She read 50 Shades of Grey and had 4 glasses of wine. Ask me again in a few years. Now go play in the dirt. Tell the truth. Talk to kids like you talk to adults and they learn better. Send them a black link. It'd do a demonstration. I think it's easier for kids to visualize and interact, no? My parents always gave me the briefest answer and thus I barely knew anything about sex until I graduated high school. From my public health classes, I'd suggest it's best to be clear with the kid when talking about sex. It's important for children to know the actual terms for their genitals so they can explain pain properly when they feel it and they can understand good touch, bad touch. You don't exactly have to give the kid a play-by-play of your sex life, but I'd suggest explaining the basics of penises and vaginas and say that when 2 people want to make a baby, they put one in the other. It'll be awkward, but your kid will be so much better off for it. Go with the canned answer from The Simpsons. Or a wizard did it accidentally. My mom gave the talk at 5, then again at 11, then again at 14, then again at 18. If it's not my kid, I tell them to ask their mom, dad. If they're my kid, I'm wondering where the hell the kid came from, monsieur. If you don't know where the kid came from, it sounds like your parents never gave you the sex talk. No, I know how it works. I'm just saying that I'd be wondering when the hell it happened. Show TV series of animals making babies. Say us humans are the same. And answer any questions. As they get older, add more info. My mom's verbatim response: Dad put his penis inside Mom's vagina and squirted you in. Quote, a person walks into a bar. Asterisk 2 hours later, asterisk bed springs. You get pregnant if you don't eat your vegetables. Traumatize the fucker for life. Okay, hand, light skin tone. Well, my dad didn't tell me until I was 13. By then I already knew. Broken condoms. Hand them a book with the answer. Encourage them to read it. That'll get them started on reading and looking for their own answers. I give them happiness. If it's your kid, just tell them monsieur, they'll figure it out from the internet anyway. They do the hokey pokey and they turn around. Ask your mom, dad. Google some medical charts and show them monsieur. The bad news. They might not believe you at first. No way. That's too crazy to be true. Quote, the good news. They'll never accuse you of eating the baby. Parents have a game they play. But it's different for everyone and only grown-ups are allowed to play. Why I'm saying that is, my parents taught me sex is what parents do to babies. But if the question is phrased like that, I want them to know it's a special thing. Everyone has their own thing. Whether it be hetero, same-sex or donor, surrogate pregnancies, aliens, IDKY. I just say that. When a mommy and daddy love each other very much. JK, I'd probably use you, J as response. This is actually what my brother told our nephew. IDK, the stork like grows them and then like fucks the mom or something. They had us in the first half, not gonna lie. Ask the milkman or the postman. I don't believe in lying to a child. I will never be parent, don't worry. So I would just tell them a politely worded version of the truth. Say, about time you ask, and pull out Pornhub. I'd just say, I stick my pee-pee in your mom and made it feel good, and then, when you grow up you can do it to someone you marry, and then go back to doing whatever. If as a boy I tell him to not use condoms that makes a woman pregnant. If as a girl I tell to not use birth control to get pregnant. Wait, moms get pregnant? I thought mommy just found the hidden cookies. She's not pregnant, she's just fat. By having sex. I say, mommy is greater than fucking, less than daddy, so don't tell your uncle. My mom handed me the book, How a Baby is Born. I knew all about the reproductive process when I was 6 years old. I will admit I looked at my folks funny for a little bit because I thought it was still like the Nature Channel and that there was secret mating seasons like cheetahs. I didn't want to know. Growing up though, as the other kids were all being weird about sex and the birds and the bees, I was ahead of the game. Once things started feeling different, it all fell into place. It was a massive moment. I think I was 12. The choo-choo train goes into the tunnel and a car comes out. Since everyone else seems to have pretty good answers to the actual question, I would say you should do something like those, but also maybe add something along the lines of, not all moms get pregnant and not everyone who is or was pregnant is a monsieur. It's just one sentence, but it can help children understand adoption and other stuff later on. It depends. If it is not my child, I will not tell them the truth because this is not my goal. A child should have this discussion with parents since it is very important. So I would just say something like, you wouldn't believe me. Moms and dads both have a flower. It is something very important to the monsieur when both want the mom to get pregnant. They make these flowers kiss. And then, a sparkling light goes into the mom's tummy and that is how she get pregnant. If it is my child, I would say what you, JJ Cox comment say. Put the movie Alien on. That's a long story and it all starts with how I met your mother. Cute story about my nephew. When I had my hysterectomy, my nephew, who was about 8 at the time, asked me what my surgery was for. I told him that I had something called a uterus out. As I was about to go into a bit more age-appropriate details, he said, "Oh, that is where the babies are made. But what happened to the baby that was in your tummy?" Quote, he thought babies were on deck, and you just press the start button when you are ready to go. Ha 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 ha. A woman gets pregnant when she inhales a man's sneeze. I will give you a demonstration. Wait, you're 5. Tell the monsieur, use age-appropriate words and levels of detail, but tell the monsieur. My 5-year-old didn't have to ask because they already knew the real answer. If not my own child, then I would say that is a personal conversation you must have with your parent. Sex is a gift. Treat it like one so kids aren't ashamed of their bodies. Just my opinion. And there are so many good books for kids about sexuality. Take them to a zoo in the spring. See the males indiscriminately humping any female who will allow it. Well, this is the case with humans. JK. Show them porn. You know how Santa delivers presents to everyone? It's kinda like that. One day you don't have presents, the next day you do. Greater than you know how Santa delivers presents to everyone? You mean some old guy creeps into your room at night and empties his sack? Either tell them the truth or let them know that it's grown-up info and you can tell them when they are a bit older. But don't lie to them like my parents did. Threw a porn on, let them get traumatized, pay for therapy. Wield the sperm, fertilizers the ovum, it embeds in the uterus and grows into a fetus. You will learn when you are old enough to learn about it. If you're their dad, say, ask your mother asterisk and vice versa. Ask mom. Netflix and spill. Well, it's a long, big, meaty story of a blowy blow in a puss. I will explain everything to you once you're old enough to be able to fully understand what I tell you. I don't want kids, so I never learned. Start by saying, well, you see, when a guy and a girl love each other really much, and finish the rest of the sentence when she's 18. Go get the book, Where Did I Come From? They fall in love, that's what they told me. Short, simple answers. There is no need to go into a lot of detail, because they won't understand. But don't lie. Ask your parents. Just say that the baby just appears there when it wants to. As simple as that. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.